Hey guys, how are you all doing? I hope you guys are doing amazing. As for me, I'm doing great, and I hope God is protecting each and every one of you. Today is another beautiful day, but today we have a sit down. In case you're new, you're most welcome, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for always coming back to watch my videos. In case you don't know me, my name is Harriet Anabo. I'm a content creator from Kampala, Uganda. All right, so today I'm going to be talking about this topic that some of you guys have been requesting me to do, and it goes, why Addis Ababa is one of Africa's most unique capitals. In Addis Ababa is where you find the headquarters of the African Union, which is the AU. You will find presidents and ministers that travel there for the African Union summits. Their major continent decisions are discussed there. And then peacekeeping, trade, and cooperation plans are initiated there. That's why Addis Ababa is called the Africa's diplomatic capital. Ethiopia was never colonized. So for those ones who don't know, actually, in the whole of Africa, Ethiopia is the only country that was never colonized. Okay, and when you go to Addis Ababa, you will find a rare history when you visit, especially the museum of Ethiopia. There's a lot to see there. That is where you find the home of Lucy. There's a lot of history. There's the battle of Adwa. I mean, there's a lot to learn there. So this is the biggest reasons the city stands out historically. Like Ethiopia, I think Ethiopia is that one country that has got like a lot of its history. It's just rich in history. So it was never colonized, you know. So let me talk about another point, which goes coffee capital of the world. Now, why I say this is because coffee was originated from Ethiopia, all right? So when I visited actually Addis Ababa for the first time, most of the time I used to go out there, but most of the time the shops I used to find are for the coffee. So you find they take like a lot of coffee. They're just so into coffee because I mean coffee originated from there, and that is where you find the original coffee. There's also what they call Addis coffee ceremony, whereby you find they have spread, like most of the shops when you visit Addis Ababa, they have spread like green grass around. That is what they call the coffee culture. Now, the thing is, Ethiopia will always shock you or will always amuse you because of the coffee, because of the unique foods that they have there. Another point goes unique food culture, which is very different from other African cities. I mean, guys, drop a comment and let me know, why is it that it is kind of hard to find the kind of food that you're used to back home, like where you come from? Like me, I don't know, but I used to find like a difficulty finding my food like where I come from in Addis Ababa. So whenever you go to Addis Ababa, just be ready to take injera, be ready to take foods like shiro, dorowot. They have also got fast foods. There are a lot of fast food restaurants, seafood and everything. So there's a unique food culture right over there. So like I told you, Ethiopia is so historical. There's a lot of cultural differences. When I asked one of my Ethiopian friends and I told her, why is it that you guys eat a lot of injera here? Then she said it's our staple food. And again, for them, if they don't eat injera, they feel like even they've not eaten food. But me, I don't know, but don't take me wrong, but I didn't love it. I think one thing I enjoyed there is dorowot and shiro, of which dorowot takes like a lot of hours to prepare it. But I had to wait, like most of the time I used to eat like in the evening, because I used to just call at my restaurant, they prepare the food and then I just go and eat, you know. I used to just not move around, because every time I move around to look for food, either I'll find that bread. They also eat, there's a bread they eat, and then they put their vegetables, and then if you want they put for you macaroni. I think those are the foods I used to like eat. Like instead of eating injera, they can also bring bread for you. So me, I used to opt for the bread, because I mean, guys, and then they have this thing of eating together from one plate. I don't know if you're watching me from Ethiopia or if you're Ethiopian, maybe you guys can drop a comment and let me know, why is it that people love eating in one plate? It's just like Muslims, actually. They love eating in a circle, but with Ethiopians, they just love eating in one plate and using hands. They use hands. And there's this thing of feeding each other. Like that one, I didn't actually understand it. I think that's just them. Like if you eat with an Ethiopian, they have to feed you. I think it's a sign of love. I don't know. Maybe you guys can drop a comment, because for me, the first time I was so shocked. I was like, "Ish!" Oh, in Ethiopia, they'll make sure they feed you. I think that's just the culture, you know. And then you will find vegetarian fasting foods. Yeah, actually, this is another thing that I also saw that really shocked me in Ethiopia. There are some days, I think if I'm not wrong, it is Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. There are some days that they do the fasting, whereby if you want food in the restaurant, you will not find it because they are fasting. So if you're a traveler, or if you're a visitor, if you are a tourist, I think I would urge you to just do fast foods, whereby you just call and then they bring for you food wherever you are. There's a time we went in a restaurant, I'll never forget that day, and then they told us, we are fasting, there is no food today. I was shocked. And there's this thing of fasting whereby they don't eat meat. I'm telling you, that one I didn't understand it up to now. Maybe you guys can drop a comment and let me know. But if you're vegetarian, they have the vegetarian fasting foods as well too. Yeah, so the reason why Ethiopian cuisines feel different from East African meals, I think I've explained each and everything. This is a city of religion and tradition. Now, for those ones who don't know, actually, Ethiopia is, or Addis Ababa is, a city of religion and tradition in general. This is whereby you find a lot of religions, talk of the Muslims, talk of the Orthodox, you know, there are a lot of them. So there's what they call Orthodox Christianity influence. I think I went to one of the churches. Then they have what they call religious celebrations and holidays. They always have what we call Timkat. There are a lot of actually religious holidays that they have in Addis Ababa, you know, or you can call it religious celebrations that they always have in Addis Ababa. There's also what they call traditional clothing, which is still commonly worn. Now, the traditional clothing, I'm talking about the Habesha Kemis, which is that dress that most of the ladies put on. It's kind of long, and then down it's kind of like fluffy. It's kind of big like down. So that is one thing, like up to now, they still wear. You know, like it's commonly dressed. Like it's commonly used by a lot of people in Ethiopia. You understand? So that one also actually shocked me, because I mean, you move from here up to there, you find someone putting on that kind of dress. Like it's just common there, which is different from where I come from. So yeah, when you go to Addis Ababa or when you go to Ethiopia, you find people dressing in these clothes known as Habesha Kemis. I don't know how they call the one of the men, because the men just put on the shirt, but the ladies put on those dresses, you know. I even went to a place whereby there's a market that they sell a lot of Habesha Kemis. I think it's called Shiro. And then let me talk about another point, which is a high altitude capital experience. Now the thing is, Addis sits about 2,300 meters above sea level. So you find sometimes it has got like a different altitude, you know. This is a country, or this is a place or a capital whereby you'll find you're putting on a sweater from morning up to evening. I'm going to explain this. This is where you find a cooler weather than many African capitals. Guys, I myself, I experienced it. All the times I've been to Ethiopia, I always go with a jacket. I always go with a jumper or a sweater, because the weather is kind of cool, which is different from where I come from. Just look at me right now. You know, it's hot, you know. But you cannot be like this most of the time in Ethiopia. You either have a sweater or just something warm, you know. It's just different when it comes to the weather there, you know. So sometimes you find the altitude or the weather affects the visitors, just like me, because sometimes actually I used to face a problem with my skin. You find sometimes my skin is peeling, like it's kind of pale, because of the weather there. So whenever you travel to Ethiopia, be sure you carry maybe a sweater or a jumper, something like that, to avoid these things of you know, the cold weather affecting your skin. Like me, my skin really got so affected. Like I just go to rashes all over my face because of the weather there. So you find it's kind of hard for the visitors. So just be ready. We talk about this point, which goes rapid development mixed with tradition. Now the thing is, Addis is a city whereby it's extremely developed. very developed actually, with a lot of skyscrapers, you know. Yeah, so you find like modern buildings versus historic neighborhoods. You know, there's this thing like up to now I haven't understood. I've been to some places, I think I'm forgetting, but I've been to some places whereby you find the neighborhood is kind of historic but with modern buildings. Do you guys understand what I'm trying to say? Like the buildings there are extremely nice, vintage, you know. Hey guys, I don't know, but it's just different. It's just different. Like you find rapid development with a mixture of tradition. Like this is a country whereby they don't forget about tradition. You understand? You find new roads and rail projects. Like I told you in my recent video, I explained to you and I told you that Addis Ababa really sorted its transport system. When it comes to transport system, oh my goodness, they really sorted their transport system, because this is where you will never find like a difficulty walking around Addis Ababa. First of all, they have got the light rail train, which is the fast train in Ethiopia, and that's a plus, because I use it like a lot of times when I was going to a lot of places, which is actually cheap. You can board that train for 20 birr, less than $1, you know. And then you find they have like the city, they have like those big buses. I'm forgetting, I think they're called Lion buses, if I'm not wrong, the yellow ones, whereby they can take you also around the city. They have got like electric buses, nice electric buses, you guys, you know. They have got new roads. Actually, when I left there, I left when they are having a lot of construction going on of the roads, of the buildings. I'm telling you, in years to come, it's going to be different. I don't know when I'm going to go back to Addis Ababa, but in years to come, it's gonna be totally different, you guys. I'm not even kidding on this one, guys. Addis has got really smooth roads, very smooth road. Like it's very hard to find potholes, which is different from where I come from in Kampala. It's very hard to find potholes in the roads of Addis Ababa. The roads are extremely smooth. It's just, guys, when you're there, you can even think you can think this is not Africa, but this is Africa, you know. And then you'll find old markets like Makato Market, which is Africa's biggest market. Yeah, to me, it's Africa's biggest market, because I've been to Makato, but whenever you go to Makato, if you're a visitor, if you're a tourist, just be careful, because there's a lot of phone snatching. You find a lot of scammers. Just be careful with your property, just like any other market or just like any other place. You just need to be careful with your property or with your stuff, because you never know. Actually, even before entering the market, you find people who will call you and tell you, sister, you want a tour guide? Don't accept people like that, because they might lead you to a route and they just rob you. You just need to be careful in that market. Even when I went there, some of my subscribers were telling me, Harriet, why did you go to this market? Why did you go to Makato? You're risking yourself, like you're risking your camera. Guys, you just need to be careful whenever I visit Makato market, you know. But it's a vibe, it's vibrant. There's actually even a bus station inside. Guys, I'm telling you, Addis will always surprise you. Me, when I went to Addis, I was every time shocked, because I couldn't believe what I'm seeing. I'm even missing it already, you know. So in Addis, you find traditional lifestyle, which still stands. Now, in Ethiopia, there's a language that they speak known as Amharic. Since they were not colonized, most of the time you find people speaking this language, you know. I myself, I kind of found a challenge. Yes, you find people that know English, but not everyone speaks English, you know, because they weren't colonized. So I can totally understand. But I love the fact that nowadays you go to restaurants whereby people know English, they speak to you in English. And yeah, so there's Amharic language dominancy, yeah, and then there's Ethiopian music style. Now this is another thing that also surprised me, guys. I went for the nightlife in Ethiopia, but it really surprised me. I used to go to a place called Findika Hayat. That is one of the popular places that people go to watch the live music, and then the traditional dances of Ethiopians, like where you find the ladies. It's okay, it's beautiful, but to me it's kind of slow compared to the nightlife that I'm used to. So the Ethiopian music style, it's kind of different, you know. Even some of their music is kind of traditional, that like whenever you see them dancing or singing, there's a history behind what they are doing. You understand? Like when I try to kind of relate, because you can find maybe they're telling like a story through music. And then another thing also that shocked me, why is it that they have a live band in a club? Up to now I haven't understood it. Me, where I come from, you can never find a live band in a club. That one really shocked us, you guys. But I love the culture. I love how the ladies dance, you know, that kind of, it's just beautiful. So there's pride in Ethiopian identity. Like Ethiopians are just so proud of their identity, extremely proud. Guys, I've never been to a country whereby they are so traditional, like they are so proud of Ethiopian identity. Like they're just so proud of their identity. I love the fact that they never forget their culture, their tradition, and they bring it up to the people that go to visit. You know, like me, when I went, I really saw that, wow, these people are really proud of their identity, you know, which is different from where I come from. So that's a plus. It's very different from many multicultural capitals. I think I've exhausted most of the points on this topic, and now you know why Addis Ababa is one of Africa's most unique capitals. I've explained most of the points on this topic. So that was it for this video. If you've watched me from beginning to the end, thank you so much for watching. If you want us to do more of this, drop a comment and let me know in the comment section. But I think I'll see you in my next video. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Ciao, ciao.